You know what's crazy? You didn't even want to chase her, not at first. You didn't wake up one day and decide, I'm gonna hand my power away to someone who barely sees me. But it happened. Quietly, slowly. Like a subtle drip from a leaky faucet, it wore you down. She smiled a certain way, gave you just enough attention, pulled away, then came back, and before you knew it, you were hooked. Now you're stuck in this cycle, texting first, waiting hours for a reply, staring at your screen like a fool, analyzing every emoji, every period, every moment of silence like it's some ancient puzzle you've got to solve. You're not chasing her because you want to. You're chasing her because you think, if you stop, she'll disappear. But what if I told you that the exact opposite is true? What if I told you that this chase is what's actually pushing her away? The more you chase, the less she feels. The more available you are, the less she values you. And deep down, you already know that. You feel it every time she takes hours to reply. Every time she ignores your message. Every time you lie to yourself and say, she's probably just busy. You're not a priority, you're an option. And what's worse, you're acting like you're lucky to even be one. Let that sink in. How did it come to this? How did a man with value, with heart, with good intentions become someone who waits for breadcrumbs? How did you forget who you are? See, when a man is deeply disconnected from his sense of worth, he doesn't know how to stop. He thinks if he just does a little more, if he texts one more sweet thing, if he shows her he's not like the other guys, maybe this time she'll see him, maybe this time she'll stay, but she won't, because she doesn't want to be chased. She wants to feel you walking away. She wants to feel that space, that absence, that emotional gap that says, I care, but I won't beg. And the hard truth? Most women don't fall in love with the guy who's always available. They fall in love with the guy who respects himself, with the guy who knows when to walk away, with the man who makes her wonder, not because he's playing games, but because he has a life that doesn't revolve around her. The problem is, you've made her the center of your emotional world. You've given her a kind of silent power, one she didn't even ask for. She can feel it in your texts, in the way you respond instantly, in how quickly you abandon your plans when she suddenly becomes available. And women don't admire that. They may use it, but they don't respect it. There's a kind of silence that speaks louder than words, and when a man finally stops chasing, when he lets go, that silence, it echoes. Women are more intuitive than you realize. They don't need you to say you're obsessed. They feel it. They feel the desperation, the energy that says, please validate me, even when you're trying to play it cool. That's why she pulls back, because on some level, she knows she has you. And when someone knows they have you, completely, without resistance, without boundaries, without conditions, they lose interest. It's not cruel, it's human nature. We only value what we perceive as scarce. We only chase what isn't already in our hands. But this isn't about playing hard to get. This is about reclaiming what you gave away without realizing it, your self-worth. There's a version of you that doesn't text her at 2 a.m., a version that doesn't check her Instagram stories to see if she's seen yours, a version that doesn't wonder if her silence means she's losing interest, because that version of you is too busy building a life that no woman can walk into and casually take over, a life where attention is earned, not given freely, a life where love is mutual, not begged for. That man doesn't chase, he attracts. But here's the thing they never told you. You don't attract by pretending not to care. You attract by actually not needing. And that's what this is really about. Not needing her to feel whole. Not needing her to fill a void in you. Not needing her to tell you that you're worthy, desirable enough. Because you already are. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to convince someone to choose you. The moment you feel like you have to convince someone to stay is the moment you've already lost yourself. So why is chasing so destructive? Because it turns you into someone you're not. You become reactive, emotional, anxious. You lose clarity. You settle for less just to keep the connection alive. You lower your standards. You tolerate delays, mixed signals, excuses. You laugh when she barely makes effort because you're just happy she replied. That's not connection. That's emotional slavery. And it kills your masculinity. The calm, grounded, centered energy that women actually crave disappears. You become noise. And in a world full of noise, women aren't drawn to the loudest one. They're drawn to the quiet one who doesn't need to shout to be felt. The man who walks away without drama, without explanation, without resentment, just silence, pure, unbothered silence. Because when you finally stop chasing, she feels it. She doesn't just notice the absence of your messages, she notices the absence of your energy. And energy is everything. Now maybe you're thinking, but what if she really is the one? Then let her come to you. Let her show up. Let her choose you without being chased. Because if she's the one, she won't need to be pursued into submission. She'll meet you where you are. And if she doesn't, then she's not the one. Love doesn't require self-abandonment. It doesn't ask you to prove your worth. It doesn't make you feel less than. A woman who truly sees you, values you, and wants to build with you will never need you to chase her. She'll match your energy. She'll make space for you in her world, not leave you guessing your place in it, but none of that can happen while you're still chasing, because chasing blocks attraction, it kills mystery, and most importantly, it destroys your own peace, and your peace matters, more than the possibility of her texting back, more than the illusion of what you think she might become, more than any fantasy your mind has created about the two of you, because here's the truth no one wants to say. Most of what you feel for her isn't even about her. It's about the idea of her. It's about what she represented. It's about how she made you feel in those rare moments when she gave you a taste of something real. But consistency never followed. You've been chasing a ghost. And every time you text first, every time you wait, every time you try harder, you're just feeding the illusion. Let it die. Let the fantasy fade. Let her wonder what happened. Let her sit in the silence and feel the absence of the man who used to orbit around her world like a lost planet. You don't owe her a goodbye. You don't owe her a final message. You don't owe her anything. Your silence is enough. Your detachment is the message, and it's louder than anything you could ever say. You're not doing this to hurt her. You're doing this to heal yourself, to reclaim the man you were before you got lost in someone else's potential, to return to your own center. And when you do, you won't feel desperate. You won't feel anxious. You'll feel free. And freedom, that's what makes you magnetic. She might come back. She might not. But either way, you win. Because you're no longer chasing, you're choosing. You're choosing peace over confusion, power over anxiety, truth over fantasy. So stop chasing her, not to teach her a lesson, but to remember your own, because you were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to be loved without having to beg. And the moment you remember that, everything changes. And if no one's told you this yet, your peace, your self-respect, your emotional clarity, they're worth far more than the temporary high of chasing someone who won't choose you back. Walking away isn't weakness, it's self-mastery. And the sooner you reclaim that power, the more your life begins to change, quietly, steadily, and on your terms. If you want to go even deeper and fully break free from this cycle, I've written an ebook that might help. It's called How to Stop Chasing Love and Make Them Chase You. You'll find the link in the description below.